Remco Evenepoel moving up as well. Pogačar looks around almost nonchalantly, lets Del Toro go on the other side of the road. And it looks to me like Del Toro is moving to try and win the stage. Del Toro, Isaac Del Toro. Oh, he almost hits the barriers. Isaac Del Toro, Pogačar's trying to give him the stage victory. Isaac Del Toro, Pogačar. Pogačar's telling him to go for the line. Isaac Del Toro, Pogačar, it's a 1-2.
What an incredible finish there by the duo. Isaac Del Toro just went so deep to try and get the lead out that he opened up a little gap. Tadej Pogačar being a real gentleman, leaving it there. He wanted to make sure he had it. It was very, very, very close. Great job there by Vingegaard to go and congratulate his opponent. Oh, just look at that. He just gave everything. And Remco Evenepoel in third.
Well, the camera didn't quite know what was going on either, because Del Toro had gone on the other side of the road and Pogačar was letting him go. It was a team plan. Isaac Del Toro, the Mexican, wins a stage of the Tour de France. Pogačar was shouting at him, go, go, go.
It also shows how much Pogačar was in control to be able to have that sharp moment of thinking, saying, and to be able to tell him, just keep on going. He backed off. He was in control. When he realized the gap was over, he re-accelerated to drop Vingegaard to try and close the gap. But he did see Remco Evenepoel coming like a bullet on the inside.
What a job by UAE Team Emirates XRG. Pogačar plays the team game and gives Isaac Del Toro the stage win. Look at this. They had time to sit up, to celebrate and enjoy a 1-2 for UAE Team Emirates XRG. Orchestrated to perfection by the 4 times winner of the Tour.
One kilometer to go.
Being distanced now, Tiberi hasn't got the legs. Tiberi has been there all day. Pidcock is still there, but he's not really in the fight. Del Toro shoulders the elbow of Sepkus and puts Pogačar into a perfect position. 1K to go, and the climbers are going to sprint it out for the finish line.
And yes, and the speed just gone up there by a fair bit. All in the seated position. Vingegaard on the wheel. Sexas just there as well. Remco Evenepoel. All the favourites at one behind the other. 850 meters to go. Carapaz looking good and focused there as well as an outsider.
Well, they've got the King of the Mountains jersey. Can they take the stage win? On the front, Del Toro in green. Pogačar behind him. Vingegaard, Sexas moving now. About to be an attack if he thinks about it. Lennart van Etveld. Also moving up, Ayuso is still there. So all the contenders bunched together at 24k an hour. 600 meters to go. They can hear now the announcer, and they're going to have no fans at the side of the road, hardly at all. 1 or 2 here and there.
As it starts to flatten out, coming out soon after that corner. 500 meters to go. It looks like it's going to be a sprint or a really late attack. Here's Carapaz getting ready.
Carapaz gets ready to go, 450 meters. Del Toro starts to up the tempo now, really starts to stamp, puts the torque on the pedals. Pogačar on his wheel. Vingegaard gets ready to strike, 350 meters. Paul Sexas wants this stage victory as well, but they're all queuing up behind Pogačar. Still Del Toro on the front. Carapaz gets ready. Remco is being distanced. Remco Evenepoel doesn't have the legs today. He leaves a gap he doesn't want to leave this time. Pogačar now starts to explode into life. There is no answer. Pogačar just powers away, and he's going to put daylight into everybody. Yesterday it was Del Toro. Today it's UAE again. Pogačar with a 22nd win of his career in the Tour.
That was perfectly played there in the finish. It wasn't about putting 20 seconds and going quite early. He waited to the last ramp to be able to put his acceleration. That was more than enough to take a few seconds and the stage win. Great preparation. Yeah, there's a moment when Isaac Del Toro accelerated. It's always deceiving when they're in the seated position shot.
Talk us through this finish.
Oh, there you go. He went about 300 meters to the finish line. Big acceleration. Opened up a gap. Then look back, sprinted to the line. to take his 22nd win confirmed. 22nd win. Vingegaard doing a good job there to cross the line. Just behind him to go for Tadej Pogačar.
At the end of today's stage, he's only 12 behind. The question is whether he prolongs his career long enough to do it. That's the question. 2 kilometres to go now for Vingegaard. He's a kilometre behind the world champion. Oh, that was a bit close. Remco still believes he can catch Vingegaard before the finish line. He's trying everything he can to get himself back there. There's the team car, peels out of the gap as well now. Pogačar is at 500 metres from another victory in the Tour and a day where he has completely changed the look of the general classification. He starts to hear now the announcers at the finish line. The sun is shining on the back of the world champion as he crosses the bridge into Gavarnie-Gedre, a first-time stage town, about to greet a world champion who's absolutely on fire. Tadej Pogačar has set out today to turn the tables in the general classification. The yellow jersey is nearly 20 minutes down after a horrible day. Pogačar is about to secure his 23rd win in stages in the Tour de France. It was Tadej's Tourmalet today. 43 kilometers solo to take the yellow jersey and a...
You ready for the day?
Yeah, we go.
Pogačar qui attaque. Personne peut y aller là de suite.
30 secondes d'avance pour Pogačar. Come on, Jonas, you're the strongest. You're the strongest. Also mentally, if you catch him back today, this will be a big blow.
The blow has been dealt. Vingegaard comes back.
Maybe Tadej wants to get revenge for that stage because he's that type of champion to always want to do better than the previous times.
I mean, you're gonna play it defensively. Is it your style, actually?
The main goal is to keep the yellow, no? Sometimes the best defense is attack.
The peloton facing a brutal stage with no less than 3,800 metres of elevation. After fireworks 2 years ago, will the 2026 finish be as explosive on France's Fête Nationale?
Et le retard du peloton 1,25, retard du peloton 1,22,5, peloton bien rempli, Van der Poel et Benjamin Thomas.
The stage cracked open a combination between the Col de Grefful and the Pal de Perol, a passage that proved hard for breakaway hopefuls to survive. Pogačar and UAE reeled in the struggling riders one by one, but having strong legs on the day, Javi Romo, the Spaniard first over the top, with the chasing pack Baudin, De Bruyne and Paris-Pintre.
La situation est la suivante, il n'y a plus qu'un homme seul en tête. Un homme seul en tête, avec un avantage de 50 secondes. 50 secondes sur le peloton maillot.
How much is the gap? 45 seconds. 45 seconds, Romo alone.
Romo now says that's it, game over. He's going to be caught, and now this race goes into its next phase as UAE continue with their plan of the day. Carapaz goes clear, 37.9. EF have to try something, don't they? They've got Healy still there, they've got Bourdin still there. They've got some numbers, at least try and break this race up.
At the Pas de Perros summit, Richard Carapaz went it alone, building a lead upwards of 30 seconds. Behind him, Nicolas Prudhomme was driving at the front of the peloton, shredding plenty of riders. A special day potentially in store for teammate Paul Sexas. The GC top 10 hitting the very steep Col de Portus. Carapaz holding firm with a slim minute's lead. Decathlon and Visma taking turns on the front. UAE in observation mode.
And here's the attack. Pogačar decides to strike with 15.5 kilometres to go. Well, if we question whether he's on a good day, here's your answer. Pogačar in yellow just takes liftoff. And he's going to catch Carapaz before the top of the climb. He's crossed 40 seconds and he's going to go past Carapaz like he's standing still on this mountain.
Et le groupe avec le grand à 15 secondes. 15 secondes. Et c'est Texas qui roule maintenant en tête de ce groupe.
They need to work together and go flat out and try and catch the yellow jersey. Remco Evenepoel is in all sorts of trouble.
38 secondes de retard pour le groupe Guillaume. 38 secondes. 45 secondes de retard pour Remco Evenepoel.
He's the boss here on stage number 10. He takes revenge for being beaten last time. It's 3 stages in this year's tour. And Vingegaard, is he there? No, he's not.
No.
Vingegaard has been dropped on the run-in. Remco Evenepoel, who struggled on the climb, is the rider who's going to take second on the stage. Vingegaard is struggling to the final of this stage 10. Second to Remco Evenepoel, resurgent ride. Sexas is there with Florian Lipovic, then Ayuso, then Schellmoser, and Vingegaard is going to ship time. He loses 44 seconds and any time bonus.
A third win on this tour. Pogačar has never won so many as early as stage 10, vanquishing the demons of 2 years ago with another devastating solo win.
Today we were trying new radios. When it was too much public, I don't hear nothing in the radio the last 10 kilometers. I didn't know what's the gap, who is doing what, and there was a little bit doubt in my head 2 years ago. Jonas came. For sure I had this in my head till the final few 100 meters.
Vigneault and Sixas have no choice though. They have to ride hard, they have to follow. Sixas could be the day's big winner here. At the moment, he will be riding into the white jersey. That is unless Juan Ayuso with Remco Evenepoel and Florian Lipovic can really get quickly organised. I mean, in France, Pogačar might win the stage, but we all know who the headlines might be about. Sixas today. Wow.
Well, this was always going to be the question for the young rider Sixas. Into the second week, into the third week, how was he before him? And he's really showing that he's getting really strong. When the stages that he is, real good at are thrown up. Today, for example, is the one, and he's really performing well here. And this is going to give him a lot of confidence as well, because when you're a rider like him in this sort of a 3-week tour, you haven't got the experience, you haven't experienced all that before. He is really riding and putting up a great performance.
Virtual GC on the screen right now. Sixas will be moving up to 4th, just behind Evenepoel. Will be back on the podium, of course, but Ayuso would just about be losing the white jersey. It is tense, it is tight. The fight for the podium, even if Pogačar's riding off again, is certainly more than intriguing. 2 kilometers to go to Pogačar, and another 2 or 3 seconds to his lead.
Yes, well, this is just a show of power once again when he finds himself out in front, and we can see Sixas and Vingegaard, they are really riding well together, but the gap is not coming down, it's just growing out second by second here. And this man, when he just gets in front, he's able to just keep on riding at that real pace where he can put a number of riders in difficulty. That's what he's doing here. It's 2 against 1, but they're not making any impact. It's just going further out.
Just over a kilometre to go. and another Poggy celebration. We'll reel off the numbers in a minute because they are something special. Milestones are plenty for this man in the yellow jersey. 1 kilometre to go and adding the best part of a minute to his lead again. Wasn't all his own way all day. Maybe we'll look back and say it was because the team did control once more. But they left us hanging, they kept us guessing, but the result will be the same. Tadej Pogačar in the final 750 metres, and he's still riding for every second. Last time he was here at Le Marchestein, the Tour had gone. It was about pride, revenge and consolation. But now he's riding away yet again. Look at the crowds that have come to watch him. The chase is on behind after almost 4 hours. Success is looking back because he knows he might move into white. But in yellow, alone again at the front, it's Tadej Pogačar. On today's final climb, the road rose, the rivals faded, and Tadej Pogačar remained. Another finish line in sight. When he attacks, there's no answer. Tadej Pogačar has no equal. The best we've seen, well, that is increasingly not in doubt. The stats are astounding. 500 days as a pro racer, 125 wins, 25 of those now are at the Tour de France. He's 10 within Cavendish. Pogačar adding to his lead at the Tour. And here comes his teammate, Isaac Del Toro, along to do his job and mop up the bonus seconds. Del Toro to the line, Success following, and he will want to count back. Pogačar is on his way to making sure for another year. Isaac Del Toro playing a sterling supporting actor role. And here comes Paul Success, 4 bonus seconds, 38 and count. It's 13 the gap that is required. And Juan Ayuso, I think, is just about to lose it. That should be the white jersey for the French young star. The day the boy became a man. We'll wait to get confirmation. But Paul Success, France's future, right here in the present. This man still has a strong future as well. Richard Carapaz fighting with a really impressive ride, finishing 1:17 down. A 25th Tour stage win for Tadej Pogačar. A 125th in his career. And to round it up beautifully, today was the 500th day of his racing career. Many have come off, as you've just heard, to a winning way. But this one, it means a heck of a lot, as the present does meet the future there, because Tadej Pogačar, well, he's putting it increasingly beyond much doubt now.
And Pogačar, he is just picking them off one by one. Here comes Pac-Man Poggy.
Carapaz once more. Aggressive nature, because once again, as Robbie was describing before, Sean just does what he can do. He'll stick to those numbers. He'll try and come back if they start falling out again.
Yes, well, Seb Cossey doesn't have this like explosive attack on a climb like this, and you have to just walk to your strengths, and that's what Seb Cossey is doing here. And
a couple of attacks happen. Steady state step. He rides his way back into the wheel, and when he feels that they've got to catch their breath, get a little bit of recovery from the accelerations, he goes himself.
But you're getting that ominous feeling. As Robbie said, look at that gap. It's down to just over a minute, and there's still 6.5 kilometres to ride for the group out in front. If ever there was a script to be written, to come from a long way back, to close a gap, to set the fastest time, to seal the Tour de France, to win on the legendary mountain, Tadej Pogačar might have just picked it up in the hotel this morning, and he is line by line to perfection. It's a glorious image. And once more, Tadej Pogačar is right at the centre of it.
Keep on pushing. We can see the man we're expecting on this mountain. He's doing the business, and yeah, when you see the cars going by as well, that is not a good sign for the riders out in front. And here he's just picking up more riders, and look at the way he's just sitting on that bike, turning the pedals there, looking like he's not under pressure at all, and the speed he's going, my God, he's flying up here.
And the two riders in front of him, Rubio and Johannesson, are the last two riders on the road before he gets to the lead trio. And get to them, it looks like he may well do, Robbie.
Bring up the road.
Coming through again. I'll be getting used to this now. 1 minute left to close. A reminder, it was 3.5 at the bottom. And there are still 5.5 to ride.
Well, that gap dropping quickly on screen, but you've also got to consider that the motorbike with the camera and the GPS equipment, they float a little bit forwards and backwards depending on crowd density, etc. It's hard to know exactly all the time, but it's giving us 38 at the moment. They're right with Tadej Pogačar. He is coming quick. It's still not a given that Tadej Pogačar is going to catch them
quickly, but Seb Kuss is doing a real good pull there. That's what they need to do. Just go to the front, one rider, pull for 150, 200 metres, and then the other rider do the same. They should have been doing that much earlier, as we can see. Pogačar is coming up very quickly, but yeah, still 4.2 to go here. I think it's just going to be that little bit too much for the three leaders out in front to hold on.
Martinez, a future king anointed, but here's the goat. In yellow, already 4 wins in this tour, looking for number 5, but it's not the numbers he wants today, it's the name, it's the place, it is that set piece monument climb, Alpe d'Huez.
The crowd is incredible. It's like the United Nations of cycling fans. And looking at the faces and seeing the cheers, the encouragement, it's like the spectators, all these fans have made their way to Alpe d'Huez. They want the mythical climb to be won by what's quickly becoming the mythical man.
But he wants them out the way. You could see the hand there, the gestures. Here I come. And he's at 20 seconds now. He will soon see them up the road. And here through this arch, he does see them. Tadej Pogačar makes visual contact with 4 kilometres still to ride.
And into the barriers, into the open air, and a much better view. And Tadej Pogačar, he can see his prey. The apex predator is on the way.
Well, Pogačar is on his way to make contact, as Robbie was just saying. Here he is. They will look round and think, oh no, not again. Behind very quickly, Riccitello made contact with Sixas, and he's pulling that group now. There they go. They look behind. Oh, we've got to get a move on, guys.
Yes, well, we can see here that they can, just look over the shoulder. They can see Pogačar coming up, and it's going to be an interesting one how much Pogačar has, given here to get up to those guys, because the gap was a big one. He has closed it real well, and now we're coming into the final 3.5 kilometres. It does get a bit easier as well in this section. Then as you go into Alpe d'Huez itself, it just gets more steep on that last number of kilometres there. Will there be some of them fancying their chances in the sprint against this man? But I think Pogačar, will he wait for the sprint when he comes up here? Will he just put in that big attack once again and just distance the 3 riders we have here in the front end of race?
I don't think Pog wants to go to a sprint. I think he'd love to cross the line alone. The interesting thing to see will be, how does he approach crossing the last part of this gap? Is it really tempo, already kind of saving something in a little bit of recovery, just loading the battery up? And then how long does he stay with them when he gets there? Does he try and go straight away?
Evenepoel makes the move. Sorry to interrupt, but this is the man in second place who's taken off. The rest must chase. We're looking at those in front as he tries to get ahead. Evenepoel himself going like a motorbike. Never mind trying to pass it. And then we are looking to Sixas, to Del Toro, to see how they react. At the front, they react before he gets to him. It's chaos on the mountain. Seb Kuss with another attack.
Absolute chaos further down, and caught in a traffic jam was Remco Evenepoel. Kuss's acceleration matched by Martinez and Carapaz, but they just know it's inevitable. The man in yellow is almost on.
Well, they're trying to chase at the moment. Here is Evenepoel. He's attacked the 4Ks to go now. Sixas himself is going to go out and search. Look here at the man in the multicoloured jersey. That's Skiermoser.
Carapaz, the answer didn't come from Sepp Kuss. Martinez tried. He can't go. He looks overseas. Pogačar to Richard Carapaz now on the loose, and it will be 100% effort from now as far as he can get, and he hopes that it's as far as the finish line.
Pogačar catches Kuss. He goes past Martinez. For the first time on this climb, it was Carapaz unanswered. 2.5 kilometres to go. The stopwatch is on, by the way. A reminder, those records, 37 minutes. But there he is, the man in yellow. He has him in his sights.
Yes, well, we can see here that Pogačar is still continuing on to set this, real strong pace here, and that's the way he's been doing it all over the mountain. A little bit of more movement on the bike maybe there because of the effort he has put in here, because he has put in what an effort from the right from the earlier slopes of the Alpe here. He's been just time trialing up this one all the way, and Carapaz, when he gets out in front, he's a real fighter, and he's holding very well, but it is coming down slowly, and everybody is pretty much on the limit here now, and in these final 2 kilometres is going to be an interesting one. When Pogačar does come up, does he just attack over the top of me?
Del Toro. Questions about how he's been. The answer here is that it looks as though he could be putting Paul Sixas further from the podium and the white jersey on a day when France began with plenty of dreams. But France might still be dreaming here, because as Pogačar gets close to Carapaz, there are 2 kilometres to go. So sits Lenny Martinez right on the wheel.
But Martinez has done an incredible job to be able to follow Tadej Pogačar back across this gap, which still isn't closed yet. And Richard Carapaz, he's fighting. He's making Tadej Pogačar really hurt himself to close every single centimetre of this gap. But there it is, Pac-Man Pog. He's got them all.
Tadej Pogačar, just under 2 kilometres from the summit, completes the catch of 3.5 minutes he started at the bottom. However this ends, that was absolutely exhilarating. And now the games begin for the stage win, and a chance as they come through town here to add their name to the most famous roll of honour in mountain climbing.
Yes, and we can see Carapaz is continuing on to make a nice pace here at the front, and that suits Tadej, because he just needs that little bit of a rest point after just making this effort here. And it's going to be an interesting one as we go to the line. Pogačar goes here.
Tadej Pogačar with the attack. Tadej Pogačar moves, and at the minute he can't distance them, and that is a change to usual advertised programming. Carapaz on the wheel, Martinez in third. It's a real competition, this. They've gone through the named and celebrated corners. Each bend, every metre lined with history. They're in the town now. The fans are here, and they're getting the show they wanted. One of the most celebrated and storied of ascents is getting one of the best chapters in its history.
Well, Tadej Pogačar coming out of the tunnel knew it was the right moment to go. Little steep kicker, had a go at making that acceleration. Quickly looked over, said it's just not for now. Not with that gap he's had to close. And it's going to be an intriguing battle between these three if it does indeed become a sprint to the line. I wonder if Pogačar's got one more in him to see if he can offload.
1 kilometre to go on Alpe d'Huez. Tadej Pogačar with Carapaz, with Martinez shown, and he can't yet shake them.
No, he did give a try there, but he see immediately they're in the wheel and just continues on setting this race. It goes downhill a little bit here, and again he's just testing them, but we can see, I think they're all going to be able to follow here in the wheel, and in the sprint it's going to be an interesting one.
Opening.
Now the gap, 800 metres. Tadej Pogačar knowing now that every pedal stroke takes him closer to a place in history. He doubles down, he grits his teeth, the most incredible ascent, rapid time, and another great story about to be added to a legend. Alpe d'Huez, Tour de France, and Tadej Pogačar is going to conquer it. Now he's not just winning stages, he is reshaping the record books. Pogačar had to win here. It was written in the stars. Destined to do it on the most legendary of mountains. It's not just the fact he's going to do it, it's the way in which he has done it today. The questions about illness. Would his team be strong enough? A break getting almost 5 minutes. A 3.5 minute gap closed from bottom to top. Tadej Pogačar collecting monument climbs. Here he is in the yellow jersey. And now just 3 days from joining the 5-time Winners' Club. Tadej Pogačar is here to cement his name on the Roll of Honour of the mighty Alpe d'Huez. It's Pogačar on Alpe d'Huez. It is the fastest ever ascent, and Tadej Pogačar seals it with a fairy tale, Hollywood-style script win.
Phenomenal. First priority is keep it safe, bring it home, and then if we have a possibility to fight for the victory, we try. But I think it's a bit harder this year to compete against the sprinters. I think this year they have bigger chance.
Perhaps to celebrate our superstars. New livery for UE Team Emirates. Best young rider, helped of course by Tadej Pogačar, but ultimately helps himself to a white jersey. It is Isaac Del Toro. Of course, our winner, making it 5, joining the greats, maybe the greatest of all, we shall see. Our hero is Tadej Pogačar. He wins the Tour de France for the 5th time and does it by a handsome margin of 6 minutes and 26.
I think the highlights of this tour was definitely the team time trial and the second stage, the last 200 meters. I will never forget. Goosebumps, and then yeah, also yesterday on Alpe d'Huez together with Isaac. This was my favorite moments of this Tour de France.
I've interviewed you after you won the Giro, the Tour. Will I see you in Spain?
Let's see. First, let's decompress from this tour, and then we can reassess and see what's the situation. And yeah, would be nice to go to Spain.
There's our podium. Absolutely wonderful. Evan Apollo runner-up. Del Toro on the podium.